Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You'll just have to excuse my voice, it's a bit on and off right now because I currently have a cold. Anyways, I have not posted anything on YouTube for I think around 40 days, like 1.5 months. Short reason why is because life has just been a lot. I've already talked a bit about my mental health issues here on this channel, and I plan on continuing doing that because it's so important. However, now there is also some more general health issues, if that makes sense. I won't go into every little detail because that is gonna take all night, but the gist of it is that a month and a half ago I wound up in the ER from an infection. It was basically just a cold, and then I started getting like shoulder pains when I was breathing. So I called the National Health Advisory hotline thing, and they told me to go to the ER, so I did. And in the ER they told me that I most likely have something called pleurisy, which is like an inflammation of the sac around the lung. And they sent me home and told me to take ibuprofen for a couple of days, and I did, but it did not get better. So 2 weeks later I wound up in the ER again, still in a lot of pain, even more pain, and also with a fever. So by this point I was well from the cold, like it wasn't cold symptoms anymore, it was just pain, and then I got the fever spike. So I wound up in the ER again, and they did a bunch of tests. They did a CT, and they ended up admitting me overnight. And this is kind of when it started to go into maybe there's something else wrong as well, because on the CT that they did, they saw a mass in my mediastinum, like here in front of your heart, behind your ribs. They were a little bit concerned about that, and they took some tests for a disease called Myasthenia Gravis. I haven't gotten those test results back yet, so I am not sure. But basically Myasthenia Gravis is associated with having a mass in your mediastinum, because they think that it's a tumor in an organ called the thymus. So a thymoma is what the tumor is called in that case, and that is associated with this disease. That was difficult to hear. I have not had any symptoms of this disease, so that's good. Anyways, they sent me home with some stronger NSAIDs and told me to take them for like 10 days or something, that it should clear the inflammation right up. Spoiler alert, it did not. A week later I was in the ER again with a fever of almost 40 degrees Celsius, and I could barely breathe, so that was not fun. They did the whole thing again. I was admitted for a couple of days because they actually put in like a drain, so that like they took a small tube through my back and into like where this inflammation was, because there was so much fluid buildup that it was compressing my lung quite a bit, which made it really hard to breathe, obviously, because I was breathing with just like a small part of my left lung. So they had that drain in for about 24 hours, and then they took it out and I got to go home. While I was in the hospital that time, they also asked me a couple of questions, like if I have any joint problems or if I get rashes, and both of those are a yes for me. So they were a little bit concerned that it might be an autoimmune disorder. So they took some blood tests to see if I have ANA antibodies, which is basically like a marker in your blood that most people with autoimmune diseases have. I felt better. I still had some pain, but I could breathe a lot better because they had drained the fluid out, so I could breathe with like a bigger part of my lung. And then later that week I got a call from the doctor, and he said that I tested positive for the ANA antibodies. So their suspicion was that I had something called SLE or lupus, which is an autoimmune disease, and it can cause pleurisy, like fluid buildup around the lung. So they put me immediately on prednisone, and I have been on that ever since, and it has helped a bit, but I do still have the pain and I get really winded really easily. And that was basically almost a month ago that I got that call. Since then, I have been to the lung doctor. They talked mostly about this mass that I have in my mediastinum. They don't necessarily think that it's related to like the possible autoimmune disease or the pleurisy, but they are concerned because thymus is an organ. You have it when you're a kid and then it's supposed to go away as you grow up, and instead I still have it. And looking back on CT scans I did 2 years ago, I still had it then too, but I was 19 then, so they weren't very concerned. But now it has grown according to the CT scans, so they are a little bit concerned. They think that it's most likely a thymoma, which, as I said before, is a tumor on the thymus. Thymomas are usually benign, but they are concerned that it might not be. There's a lot of things happening right now, a lot of things to be done. I have an appointment for a PET scan on Thursday of this week. I don't know if I'll be able to make it considering I have cold symptoms, but otherwise that is the first step. And then depending on what that shows, I might have to get a biopsy, I might have to get surgery. We don't really know at this time. They also tested my lung function, and my lung function is at like 57% of what it should be, so that's not very fun, but it explains why I get winded so easily. So right now there's just a lot of things in the air. I also have an appointment coming up with a rheumatologist, which is about the possible lupus or other autoimmune disease. Yeah, there's just a lot right now, and I have needed some time to process this all, and it's not processed, but I want to talk to you guys about it because I want to just be as transparent as possible, and that makes me feel not so alone. And maybe those videos can help people. I kind of rushed this, I skipped a lot of details. Yeah, that is the semi-short version of things. If you want to follow along on my journey and see what the heck is going on, then feel free to subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.